credential member of media, covering the Carolina Panthers for Charlotte Vibe. And glad to be here today, a.k.a. Man of the People. Why? Because I enjoy covering the Carolina Panthers and working for fans of the Carolina Panthers. And I'm here to service you guys. So we're going to get into talking about the latest on the Carolina Panthers team, their injuries, Josh Norman returning, having his first practice, and etc. Just wanted to say to you guys, give me just a little bit of patience today because I didn't have every chance to get everything lined up, but I do have a lot of good content that I'm going to share with you all today and talking about this Carolina Panthers team as we have this playoff push that we will, now you can see my mic. I didn't want you to see my mic. It's still there in one corner. Sorry about that. Here we go. But as we have this playoff push and get ready to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Tampa this Sunday, I can tell you I will be there live reporting to you my normal pregame show, which will happen at 11 o'clock, and then the postgame show. So if you have not done so, what am I going to ask you to do? Hit the like button. Let's all get in the habit of supporting Charlotte Vibe, hitting that like button. Now, of course, we like the super chats. Anytime we can get those, we need them. Independent media supported by you, so when you have the opportunity, but otherwise the likes are free. And subscribe. You'll see that I love working for the fans and getting you guys the content that you need to decide what you want to decide and feel about this team. All right, so let's go ahead and start to go over the latest with this Carolina Panthers team. I always like to start with the injury report, so give me a moment. I'm going to put that up on the screen and share with you all the injury report for this Carolina Panthers team today. But what's going on? Kevin Hubbard, Rodney W., Npai Casey, Tin Tizzy, Shaquille. All you guys are coming into the chat, so that's cool. I appreciate seeing you there. Let me see. All right, so let me get up this first thing that I want to have for you all, which is the inactive list. I'm sorry, the injury reports. So here we go. Current injury report for this Carolina Panthers team. It's going to be cornerback J.C. Horn. He had his surgery yesterday on his wrist. Now, the wrist was broken. Coach could not say whether or not pins were put in there or what all that procedure was for, but did say he expects about 10 or 12 days that we will be able to reevaluate JC and determine if his season is over or if he's going to continue to play. Now, Coach didn't say this, but he was asked about JC being available for that last game against New Orleans, and I forget his answer, but he basically said it's going to be that period. I have to wait and see. But I feel like a big part of that will be bring J.C. Horn back for that New Orleans Saints game, and we're not in the playoff hunt. No, not going to do that. But bring J.C. Horn back, and we have a chance to continue into the playoffs, then I feel like that's when you have more that likelihood and possibility of J.C. Horn coming back with some kind of club or cast on to help him play. All right, continue on through this list. Wide receiver Shi Smith, he was on the report today. Sorry, I had to take a drink from my cup. Now, let me just go ahead and interrupt this broadcast to thank Garrett Bailey for his $4.99 super chat. Garrett, I appreciate you, man. Again, it's a big team here. It's myself, Andre Cassidy, our photographer, Julio Bozeman, and we all get supported through you guys' contributions and your super chat. So anytime that you're able to do that, so much appreciated. It helps us continue to do what we do and hopefully do it in a pretty darn good way. I think our live broadcast is the best thing that's on the internet, quality-wise, outside of the major network, NBC or something like that. So Garrett Bailey, go Tar Heels, maybe that's your team. If that's the case, appreciate you very, very much. So Shi Smith was on the injury report with his foot. Now, he got hurt during the last game, returning the punt, had an MRI on that, and with him being limited in practice today, that means things on that MRI turned out pretty well. And Coach Wilkes said there's no indication that Shi Smith will not play this weekend. Um, Not listed on this injury report was Andre Roberts. Not sure why he wasn't. I didn't really pay attention to that until this moment. I just put it up there on the screen for you guys. But Shi Smith, I'm sorry, Andre Roberts was not on the injury report today, and he didn't practice. He was dealing with a sickness, is what Steve Wilks said. And in terms of him playing this Sunday, we're going to have to continue to see. But again, Andre Roberts, for some reason, not on the injury report today, but he was not at practice on the portion that the media is allowed. And Coach Wilks said that he is currently dealing with an illness. Continuing on through this list, guys, give me just one. You're going to hear me with a quick pause. All right, thank you for your patience with that quick pause. Offensive tackle Taylor Moton had a rest day, did not practice. Man, I forget the exact stat. I'm going to have to cheat here and look at my own Twitter account. But Taylor Moton has played an unbelievable stretch of games without missing. And let me see if I can quickly find it. Of course, I'm not going to quickly find it while I'm on here talking to you guys. Did I find it? No, I didn't. But, man, Taylor Moton, guy is just a beast. He had an off day, a rest day, and Deontay Foreman had a rest day. Good to see him get that day back. Deservingly so, because let me tell you this, Deontay Foreman, with his performance last week against the Detroit Lions, earned himself NFC Offensive Player of the Week. So big congratulations to Deontay. Hopefully we can get some kind of resemblance of a performance from that last week, from him and Chuba this week, to put us in a good position to beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Also on the list, linebacker Shaq Thompson with a hamstring injury. He was limited in practice. Tight end Tommy Tremble, he was limited in practice with his hip. So let's go ahead and continue to work our way through this. So as you saw in this title, some former players have been giving their comments on Josh Norman. I know I talked with Andre the other day about Josh Norman. Some of you guys said that you were surprised by my outtake, maybe felt like it was a little negative. And that wasn't the intent. I know that was, for me, probably one of the more recent passionate things that I talked about the other day was the Josh Norman return. And before I get into that, because I'm going to come back, circle the wagons, if you will, and come back to talking about former players, talking about Josh Norman, and even getting some comments from Roland Harper about the situation. What I was trying to stress, and maybe I didn't do a good job of it, was just that I'm optimistic about what we're going to get out of it. I certainly want it to work. I certainly like Josh, and I'm cheering for it. I certainly understand why the Carolina Panthers made the move to get Josh Norman. We're needing some depth back there for sure. Just like, will it be enough? That's it. That's it. So let me go ahead and let's start this conversation on Josh Norman. He returned today. I'm going to play a clip here on Steve Wilks talking about what, the performance of Josh today at practice, and also getting into what we can expect from Josh this Sunday, if anything. So here we go.
Moved around well, can't really, tell you exactly for one day what's going to happen at the end of the week. But I felt like, he picked the defense up well, the things that he was doing today, and he had good movement. So I'm excited about him moving forward. So we'll see at the end of the week. Well, he's definitely not in game shape. I can promise you that. But he's definitely in shape the way he can move, plan drives, change direction. So when you start talking about game shape, you got to put a cap on the number of plays that he can possibly play. So.
All right, so there's Steve Wilks talking about Josh Norman today. His performance today, he moved around well. He knows the defense, which we all are not surprised to hear about because he worked under Wilks. He grew up under Wilks. So he's familiar with the defense. But can't say after one day what he's going to look like for Sunday. And then when I talk about his game shape, hey, he's in shape, but being in game shape is a whole different beast. And just again, a reference to me and talking Monday night about Josh, me thinking, okay, with his age, being I think about 35-ish, but I know he's, let's say, middle 30s, which is old in football terms. And then the break that he's had and not playing all season, I feel like that's where my concern for Josh being able to help us right now comes in. Now, let me say this. If we're able to make it through and beat Tampa and earn that playoff bid by beating New Orleans if we have to as well, do I feel like Josh can be a bigger asset at that point? Then yeah, that's what I'm going to say now. My opinion, after 2 weeks, and if we make it into the playoffs, Josh can do some work for us. Josh can help. The concern is just this short term right here. But Coach Wilks, they're talking about the shape that he sees Josh being in right now. So in the event that Josh is in fact able to play this Sunday, where will he be playing?
Could be. Depends on exactly what we're doing. We don't want to try to put too much on him. That nickel position embodies a lot of stuff in regards to run fits, linebacker, your DB, safety and coverage as well. So we feel the need that if we bring him in, we'll probably have him on the outside.
All right, so I'm not sure Josh, when he comes in, will be in the nickel position, or if that'd be like a starting spot every time they're in the nickel, Josh is going to come out there. Sees him playing more on the outside, and that he's going to be coming off the bench. Josh will not be a starter this week. Coach has a lot of confidence in Keith Taylor and C.J. Henderson, and Wills talks about protecting guys and not want to put them out there in a bad position. One thing I know for sure, Josh and Wilks have a very, very good personal relationship as well as, a business relationship. I don't think he's going to want to expose any player like that, including Josh. He did the same thing with Sam Darnold when he was coming back, kind of wanted to work him in there. So my gut is telling me that he wants to get Josh on this team now, which he does have him, and start to get him slowly ramped up as fast as he can, but very much so cautiously. And then if we're able to make it into the playoffs, that's when Josh Norman is going to play big for this team. And as we get ready to take on the Carolina Panthers, as we get ready to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, we're going up against Tom Brady, a guy that Wilks said, yeah, you can never count Tom Brady out. It doesn't matter how you start, doesn't matter how the game's looking. That's why we, the Carolina Panthers, have to play a full 60 minutes. We have to play it from beginning to end, and it could even be more than 60 minutes. But our team has to be prepared for that. And I continue to say I like Steve Wilks. He's like, I'm not, at this point in the season, I'm more focused on ourselves. I know they have Tom Brady. I know they have Mike Jones, Evans, and they have Julio Jones. And those guys are good. But if we just do what we're supposed to do and it starts up front, then we have a really good opportunity to play well in this game and to win. All right, I know we got some comments coming in here. Let me continue to go through some of my notes, and then we'll get into some things from you guys as well. So give me just 1 second to make sure I stay in order. As long as he isn't returning kicks or punts, I don't care. So we were just playing a clip there of Coach Wilks talking about what he saw from Josh today. Let's hear from the man himself about the kind of shape he's in. Josh Norman talking about his current shape.
Guess you're going to see Sunday if it happens, right? But no, we good. I felt good out there, and what's so crazy, I really took it all in when I was back there. It's just crazy because it was just like the out-of-body experience, just walking back through the same places I was, still working out in the end, I love this thing. I love this game, and it really brought me to like being a kid again.
So I thought it was interesting that Josh says, we'll see. I forget, man. Let me play that clip again because it was at the very beginning. I'm sorry, I didn't get it right.
Guess you're gonna see Sunday if it happens, right?
So Josh said, I guess you will see Sunday if it happens. That to me says that Josh, he's not. How do I want to say it? How do I want to say it? He knows very well that he has to get through some conditioning and he has to make sure that his body's going to respond properly for him to play on Sunday. I like that. And with him saying that, I feel like we're going to see Josh in the proper amount that we need to this Sunday. Meaning if he's able to get in some good shape, yeah, we're going to sprinkle some plays in there. But if he's not in good shape and the body's not responding exactly right, let's take another week before we get him in there and just rely on our current guys. We'll see. I'm cheering for this team. I do want to continue to say, man, I am cheering for this team. But Josh himself did say if. To me, that's something to take into consideration for like what kind of, like the shape that it takes to play professional football on any given Sunday. It's not just the shape of saying, yeah, I'm in shape, I work out daily, I do some cardio. That's completely different. Part of what he talked about is his strength and being in the weight room. He could still be in shape, but man, it's, those guys lift weights a lot to have a different kind of strength during the on Sundays. But nevertheless, one more clip that I'm going to play for you, and then we're going to talk about the other part, which is some former players talking about their thoughts on Josh Norman, which I had to get some more feedback from you guys. Josh Norman, would you be here? Josh Norman, would you be here if Coach Wilkes was not the coach?
No, I can't answer that. I really can't answer that. I can't say if I was, if I wasn't. Just how it all came about is just, it's a real live, true story that, guy has the wheel. I'm just a passenger on this ship. And it's kind of like I said out there, it's like you in a dream or a movie, but it's actually real and it's happening. It's like one of those, an out-of-body experience. I'm still trying to process. But you can't make it up. It's one of those trips that just has a great tale to it.
So pretty cool, pretty cool. I myself, as you see, I did make it into the locker room today. Certainly trying to get in there before the end of the week. I think it would be very cool to see Josh in there. Definitely could be something that reminds you of the older, yesteryear, the playoff teams, the back-to-back NFC South championships, and Josh being a part of that. Josh shutting down Mike Evans, Josh shutting down Julio Jones. So, that's another new interesting dynamic to this matchup this Sunday is these guys are familiar with one another, and Josh now gets to see them both on the same team, wearing the same uniform with one of the greatest quarterback of all time, even though he plays at a different level right now, obviously because of Tom Brady's age, but he's nevertheless Tom Brady, showing you that I can still, if I'm on the team, there's going to be a chance that my team will beat your team. So that is, let me just make sure. I want to go to my next part. I've covered all my points there, which I have. And let me see if I got some other information ready for you guys. Let's see here. Keep those comments coming. Keep those comments coming. All right. Oh man, I'm gonna have to put you guys on a hold for a second while I run downstairs to look at my phone. So I don't have a graphic that says I'll be back in 1 second. I wish I did, but what I will do is let me see if I can play a video of some sorts to allow you guys time to give me a minute to run. Here's what I'm gonna do. I am going to play some more video of Josh Norman talking to the media today while I run downstairs to get my phone because I don't have my comments from Roman Harper anywhere else but on my phone. So give me just a second. I'm sure a lot of people out there laughing at me, but that's all right. the man of the people makes no lies about what's going on. Let's see, I'm gonna do this right here. And this will give me a chance to, again, gotta run downstairs, get my phone to read my Roman Harper information for you guys and his take on Josh Norman coming back. So video's about done, and now I'm gonna queue up for you all just a little bonus coverage of Josh Norman talking with the media, and then I'll be back in just a second. I'll interrupt this and finish the comments.
So what's changed in here?
The space. Like a lot of things, a lot of little things. You know, it's so crazy because every room that I have a memory in, like in a very elaborate memory. And, you know, just even coming through the doors, through the weight room, there was never a middle door there. Had to go around and just, you know, even the calf built out. In the room that I was in with the defense, it's still the same, but memories in there just kept going on and going on. So, you know, I'm still processing everything, for sure.
How long has it been since you've actually been in here? Was it right after 2015 season?
Yeah.
You never been
Never stepped foot back in nowhere on the ground.
Look at that good bonus coverage from Charlotte Vibe while I ran downstairs. That was a quick run through, and some pretty quick thinking on my part. All right, so again, going back to Monday, comments, and I always like the comments. And again, I so appreciate and so just really enjoy my channel and the fans that are here, because even when you guys disagree, there's like respect. It's just well done. So I appreciate that from everybody. Please continue to leave your comments, whether you agree with me, whether you disagree with me, as long as we're keeping it, you know, professional, if I can say that. I'm all for it. So let's go ahead, and I got a graphic that I'm gonna share with you. Here's one comment, and I thought it was pretty cool. Trey Boston says, "Hold up, we having a reunion. Y'all know I left a full-blown starter. I'll slide if we really about that life. Keep pounding." So this was pretty funny, because when we were talking about it and we started talking about older players coming back to the team, I'm like, man, Josh is just an older player. And the comment of Trey Boston, I said, yeah, I would be more optimistic on the immediate of Trey Boston returning, because he's a younger player, and I feel like he could get up to speed quicker. I just do. But it was funny to see Trey Boston say that. And then even more funny or entertaining was Steve Smith coming back and say, "Hey, Trey, if you about that life, Agent 89's about that action too. What y'all think? Dust off 89 for 89? Trey says it's only right." So that was pretty cool. Lot of former players responding to Steve Smith coming back. I did not load it up beforehand, but I know Jonathan Stewart chimed in on it as well. Let me see if I can quickly get to his comment. Come on, Twitter, help me out. And what did Jonathan, I went to the wrong Jonathan Stewart, of course, the first time. And let's go here. So Jonathan Stewart said, I'm just trying to find it. All right, so I can't find it, but I know Jonathan Stewart was happy to see him come back. And then Thomas Davis talking about, "Hey, coach, you know, give me a call, talk to me, let me get back on the field." You know, I'm really curious how many other players may have talked to Coach Wilkes to say, "Hey, if we doing this, you know, if we putting the band back together, I don't mind coming back." But let me go ahead and, without further ado, get to a comment that I have from Roman Harper on Josh's return. Basically saying it's cool to see Josh return, letting bygones be bygones, really referring to the fact that when Josh left, he had a franchise tag that was rescinded from him, and he ended up, you know, leaving because of that. And but he says this, and this is what I want you guys to listen. So again, this is a comment from Roman Harper. "I don't know the level in which he will help playing wise yet. Some people can be great leaders and helpers without playing, while some only truly make an impact while playing. All right. So one of the things that was talked about was that DNA that he has, that dog mentality that he has. And I said, I don't know how much that helps this team because I feel like Steve Wilkes is one of those ultimate guys that his voice can carry through a team and get, and have these guys changing the culture. He was asked today, Coach Wilkes was, on how quickly, at what point did he see that culture change and that buy-in for what he's trying to do? And he said it was pretty quick. It was very quick that he saw it. And I think all of us saw it as well. You saw this team playing differently, fighting differently. And so to that point of just Josh, his DNA and his dog mentality being able to help, I'm like, I don't know. I just vocally, I don't know. I felt like Josh, now if he's playing more, thus being in shape, going out there and making plays, then yes, I do feel like that kind of impact can take place. But furthermore, on Roman Harper's comments, he just saying that it'd be interesting to see which way works out. Admitting that when he was a player, he was mostly impacted when he was playing, and when he wasn't able to make that big of a change. But he did say this: Peanut Tillman was a better person that could impact the game, even though he's not on the field. And it's just few guys that can do that. And saying, hey, basically, it's yet to be determined what's going to happen with Josh, but he's going to be looking forward to that. So any questions about that, play the video back to see it. But, hey, man of the people, I really pride myself in covering the team and giving you all good concrete information and not just doing all the speculation myself. So I really appreciate Roman Harper giving me that bit of information that I could share with you guys to, again, just determine how you want to feel. And bottom line, this is just fun, right? We all just try to talk about it as well as we can to get an idea and to have our own opinion. So hopefully you guys appreciate that kind of content. And again, thank you, Roman Harper, for that kind of feedback so I can provide that to Panther Nation out there. Let me go to some of these comments that I'm seeing out here before I get off. All right. Shaqib, Josh Lake Norman is back. Keep pounding. Let's beat Tampa. 10 Tizzy, y'all need to relax on J-No. He like 47 and Derrick Henry stiff-armed him out of the NFL. He's not 47, but yes, he's definitely older now, and we're going to have to see how much he can get in shape. Brad Holt, Tampa hasn't looked good the past few weeks, but we can't overlook Brady and his miracle comeback. So, yeah, we're going to talk more this week about the about the matchup with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and what we're going to have to do, what that possible outcome could look like. But, Brad, I agree with you 100%. Brady can come back on you. If that has not been evident as you watch their primetime games on Sunday night, and I think the other one might have been a Monday night or might have been a Thursday. Anyway, those primetime games with them to watch, him come back in the fourth quarter, it's crazy. It's crazy. He still has that knack to do that. Tampa hasn't looked, I already read that one. Shaqib, we definitely need Andre Batman Robert to be available on Sunday. Yeah, Andre Roberts, I like that Wilkes had him with that designated to return. I almost feel like it's not going to work out. And again, please don't think it's that I don't want it to work out. But Andre has been out all season. And I don't know, maybe I'm being a little too harsh to the second say, well, the guy getting sick is different from him being able to physically endure playing. It's just tough reading where Andre's capabilities lie because it's just been so hard to get him on the field this year. Going through some more of these comments. As long as Shi Smith isn't returning kicks or punts, I don't care. I really hope that we can get away from that. Shi Smith, it's just not been his strong point. You know, maybe put it on a shelf and try him again this offseason and see if you can get him to feel things more cleanly. But I feel like a Blackshear or a Roberts is giving us better results, safer results than having Shi Smith back there returning punts and kicks. Tizzy, I forgot how great Josh Norman's interviews are. Yeah, they're pretty good. They're pretty good. Let me see this comment. Gary York. Dude, whatever we see, one thing's for sure is we're going to see a dog, and that's all we need. We're going to blast Tampa Bay. Okay, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Gary York, Josh, gonna zone blitz. You can bet. Josh Norman is a depth piece that we needed. I agree. I agree. I think it's going to be 1 to 2 weeks before we could really see him be that depth piece that would be valuable, very valuable for us. Tizzy called me unprofessional. I don't know what you call me unprofessional for, man. Oh, technical support, because I needed to. Yeah, I'm sorry. Hit that like button. Hey, he puts the link in the description now. All right. Going through some of these comments, again, you guys know I love to take a moment to make sure that I acknowledge you all as much as I can, because I appreciate the time that you take to interact with me here. Let's see. Wait. Anthony Rochelle, what's going on? Tyrone Green says, Josh Norman is going to bring that dog out of him and his teammates to get us in the playoffs. Pops. Y'all forget Josh Norman, a Carolina native. You know, the other day, I was talking to you guys about a player named Pops. His nickname was Pops, and I could not at all think of his name as we were talking again about older players. His name was Mike Adams. I remember shortly after we got off the video. Mike Adams was a guy that was an older guy on the team. And I forget the exact context in which I was trying to remember and bring up Mike Adams, but his nickname was Pops. Anthony Rochelle, let's get Trey Boston back. Yeah, you know, as much as Trey is around the team, I really feel like if he was going to come back, that he would be back. I know it's different parts that handle, you know, players coming back for promotional purposes versus staffing and talent evaluation, but man, I never could understand why Trey doesn't stick with teams as long as he would. I feel like Trey would always be cut, and it's like, man, the guy's performing. The guy is performing. Why are teams letting him go? But anyway. Tizzy, we're going to have to take the title Man of the People away if you don't slide into a pressure soon or practice. Well, I'm going to get back in there. Family life changes for me, as you guys know. Got a little 15-month-old, and things are changing where I'm not able to be there as much as I would like to be in there. But I tell you what, I always hold it down for the pregame show and the postgame show. And I'll be in Tampa this weekend providing that coverage, which I hope you tune in and see. I do want to make it into the locker room this week, but we'll see. Got lots of stuff that what I think about Derek Brown's comments. So Derek Brown's comments were that everybody in that locker room wouldn't mind seeing Steve Wilkes be the head coach. And I feel like that's true. The coach has to lose the locker room for guys to not want him to be there, whatever his, Matt Rule, he hadn't lost the locker room. Guys like, oh, I don't like this guy, And it's good to see Derek say that, and I think a lot of guys want to see him do it. And hopefully that means they're all playing as hard as they can and continue to give him a chance to be the guy that's their coach. Xavier Woods is playing just as good. Got to make the plays this week. Trey is a ball hawk, though. And Tizzy saying it's all love. Yeah, you guys said I was unprofessional. I don't know what the unprofessional comment was about. I got some former player Roman Harper to give me some good information to share with you guys. But I know it's all in fun, and I love the fun that we all have. I got to go. Hopefully you enjoyed the show. Please, what am I going to ask? Hit that like button. The bigger, I grow, the more I can do for you all, and getting players on the show and getting things like, the Roman Harper comment to share with you today. So hit that like button. Subscribe as well to the channel. Help me reach 6,000 people, please. Oh, you guys were talking about me having to run downstairs. Yeah, I left my phone downstairs, man, and I needed that, as you saw. But it's all good. I left you with some good entertainment while I could run downstairs. Nevertheless, Scott Griffin, appreciate you. 10 Tizzy, Pops, everybody that came on the show. Chris Jenkins signing off